Hello there everybody, Mark Belford here from Hit Chef Academy. I hope you are well. As always, I am here with my esteemed colleague.
Hello.
This is Zane, this is my son. He's been helping me out in previous videos and becoming a bit of a hot shot to the point where we've got an agent who's been negotiating his V-Bucks that he gets for all of these videos. So needless to say, I'll be the only man that comes out of quarantine skint. Okay, so today we're going to be doing, pardon the pun, and please be kind in the comment section, we're going to do pizza quarantine. So a little bit of a take on a pizza Florentine, which is spinach and egg. We don't have spinach today. The whole point of our videos is to drag stuff out of your cupboard, see what you've got knocking about, and to make delicious food very simply as well and very cheaply. The first part of this recipe is the sauce. So we make our own pizza sauce, which isn't complicated. Please, by all means, don't freak out about this part. This part does take 1 hour, but it is literally a 2-minute job to put it all together. And then you can just leave it for 1 hour, play with the kids, do whatever. What I'd suggest you do in that 1 hour whilst your sauce is simmering is to make your dough as well. So it's a very time intelligent recipe. Okay, so the sauce, I'm just going to show you the sauce here. It's a lovely tomato ragu with loads of vegetables running through it. But just incredibly simple, incredibly cheap to make and full of vitamins. Okay, so the recipe for the sauce is 1 can of tin chopped tomatoes, 400 grams, half a white onion, just chopped up, half a carrot, washed, peeled, just chopped up, half a stick of celery, washed, peeled, chopped up. Okay, I've just sweated that off in 1 teaspoon of oil. So sweating it off, just gently frying it, but no colour, not going too aggressive on it. I've added my tomatoes and I've just let that simmer down for 1 hour, okay? If your tomatoes, when you taste them, are a little bit sharp, what I would suggest you do is to add 1 teaspoon of sugar and 1 teaspoon of vinegar, all right? And that will just balance it out. All I've done then, I've not even blended the sauce. I've used a potato masher just to squash it down. If you've got kids that maybe are a little averse to seeing an actual vegetable there, just by using a potato masher after 1 hour, you'll just break everything down and they'll just think it's a tomato sauce that you've bought. You can trick them, but there's loads of vitamins, minerals in there and very low sugar and salt content. Okay, so anyway, we're going to get onto the dough now. So the dough is incredibly simple. This recipe calls for 250 grams of plain flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder. What I would say is, if you don't have the baking powder, but you do have self-raising flour, just use 250 grams of self-raising flour, okay? I've got half a teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of oil, and we're going to use about 150 mils of water. You might need a couple of tablespoons more just to bring it together to make a dough. And once it's done, you just leave it for half an hour. You can leave it for 3 hours. I've found that it's absolutely fine out. You can leave it in the fridge overnight as well. And if you're going to use it the next day, just let it come out and come up to room temperature. Okay, so we're going to get on with the dough. So the dough, all the dry ingredients are in here, already weighed out. They're all mixed together. Zane's going to add 1 tablespoon of oil to the bowl, please, sir. Thank you. It's very, very straightforward, so that just goes straight in. Thank you, Zane. Wonderful. Now grab your fork, Zane. So Zane's just going to bring those 2 ingredients together now, and I'm just going to slowly add the water to form a dough. And again, I do this all in the bowl just to prevent any mess on the kitchen counter. I appreciate we might have a little bit more time on our hands, but the last thing you want to be doing is making flour and water glue on your tabletops. So Zane's going to bring that all together. And what it'll do, it'll come together pretty much as a dough. Just use the back of the spoon, back of the fork, sorry, and that will bring together a lovely dough. There we go. So while Zane's mixing that, I'm going to show you what the dough will look like. So after you've brought the dough together, you should have this wonderful, soft pizza dough. Lovely and smooth, lovely and pliable. Okay, and this will make 1 whole pizza, so enough for 2 very hungry people, or enough for 4, just for a light lunch with a few accompaniments. Okay. So wonderful. So Zane's got to the point now where his fork is giving up the ghost, so we get rid of that. And then what we do with our hands just bring it all together. Any dry matter in the bowl, pick up with your fingers. I'd say the fork does the majority of the work here. I'm just using my fingertips. It initially looks a little shaggy, like a shaggy mess, but it will come together, and it has done. Okay, so I'll get rid of that bowl. Any little bits of excess on your fingers, remember to get off. Do remember to wash your hands thoroughly before you start cooking. 20 seconds government guidelines. We have, haven't we? Yeah, we have. Okay, so you can just bring this together now. If you feel it's a little damp, just use a little bit of flour. Don't go crazy. If you keep adding flour, you'll change the dynamic of the recipe, and you'll end up with just a very large cream cracker-esque pizza base. And if that's what you want, then fine, but we want something a little softer. So Zane is just going to bring all that together and give it a little knead. Thank you, Zane. And I'm just going to wash my hands for 30 seconds. So Zane's going to knead that for about 4 to 5 minutes. Another great activity to do with the kids. Good arm workout as well. Just take out a few excess bits of energy. Once that's done, just place it back into your bowl. Cover it with a clean towel or some cling film, and you can leave it. Like I say, after 15 minutes it's fine to use. You can leave it out for 2 or 3 hours. It'll be absolutely fine. You can refrigerate it as well and use it the next day. So we're back. We've allowed the pasta dough just to rest. We've given ours half an hour because it turns out Mario Kart was upstairs. Happy days. So Zane's now rolling this out. So as you can see, he's rolling it out on a floured surface, very lightly floured. He's rolling it out. He's then turning it every 90 degrees and he's rolling it out again. That way, when you're cooking it, you're going to get an even shrinkage for the shrinkage that you do get. If you rolled it all out one way, you're going to get a more elongated, exaggerated stretch. All right, so Zane's just rolling that out, and it's going to take a couple of minutes, but in true blue pizza fashion is one we made earlier. So on a tray, already greased, already floured, just so it doesn't stick. So that's just our insurance policy. We've just put the dough straight on it. Like I say, it's going to give us a 12-inch pizza, 2 for hungry people, 4 portions for a lighter lunch. Okay, so we're back. Pizza's ready. We've got all our toppings ready, prepared. Again, another job I would suggest you do in advance. We have got, as always in this household, a few capers, a few kernels of frozen sweet corn, about a tablespoon in total. We had 2 rashers of bacon left over in the fridge from breakfast, so we've just chopped those up. These are already cooked, put them on cooked. We've got some grated Parmesan cheese, just the dog ends of. I've got a few slices of cheddar cheese as well. Again, I'm just using stuff up in my fridge. Broccoli stalk. Now this, I tend to see just goes into bins. This is fantastic, full of vitamins. Really lovely, beautiful broccoli flavour, obviously. But don't throw it away. All I've done is taken the stalk, sliced it down the middle, and I've thinly sliced it. Cut it how you want. I've got a few slices of green pepper as well, about a quarter of a green pepper in total. But this is your pizza. Do what you want with it, put what you want on the top of it. My suggestion would be though, do not overload it. It can be really difficult to cook then, and it can take forever. All right, so less is more with this recipe. All right, so the first job Zane's going to do is just to put 3 or 4 spoonfuls of the sauce onto the dough. So Zane's just going to spread that out now, just using the back of the spoon just to coat it all over. Next, we'll start with our toppings. So, in any order really, it's up to you. Cheese on the bottom, cheese on the top. We're going to go cheese on the top for this one today. So all of our other ingredients are going to sit below and be protected by a layer of cheese, which is a really nice way to go. So Zane's going to first sprinkle on a few capers. Wonderful stuff, thank you very much, Zane. Same with the sweet corn, please. If you are using frozen vegetables for this, I suggest you defrost them. And if there's a little bit of excessive water, just give it a little squeeze off. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a very, as opposed to a Mary Berry, you're going to have a soggy top as opposed to a soggy bottom. Wonderful stuff. A few peppers. Lovely. A few pieces of broccoli stalk, please. Sliced one.
Nice.
I won't put the whole one on, would you? Love bacon on. And again, you could use maybe some chicken, cooked, any other cooked meat that you've got going about, you know, like sandwich filler type meats sliced from a deli or whatever. They'd be absolutely fine. Okay, so Zane's going to put the sliced cheese on now. And then he's going to finish off with the grated cheese as well. This will go into the oven. Your oven would have been preheated at 220 degrees or gas mark 7. It's going to go into the oven for approximately 8 to 10 minutes, depending on your oven. You're then going to pull it out and we're going to finish it with our egg. So we're going to come back to that in 8 to 10 minutes time. 10 minutes has gone. I've timed it, it's 10 minutes in my oven anyway. It might be 8 in yours, so just double check. Our pizza's come out, and do you know what? It smells and looks delicious, but not ready to eat yet. Okay, so what we're going to do now, the Florentine part, we're going to add an egg to each quarter, so everyone gets an egg, or if you're like us, we're going to get 2 eggs each. Very lucky because the eggs come from our garden. Got some lovely silky chickens, and so we've got our eggs ready fresh this morning. All right, so Zane's just using the back of a spoon to make a dimple in each quarter. Okay, so great for maths, you know, get the kids to think about what is a quarter and get them to divvy up that way. So each quarter is going to have an egg in it. So Zane is going to pour his egg into his little dimple. There we go, there's one. If it runs off a little, not a problem, it's all going on the same pizza, all right? So, and again, Zane, please, into your dimples. There we go. And to set myself up for a fail, live on camera, I'm going to crack the eggs in. And voila. That was stressed. I've never been so stressed to crack an egg in my entire life, young man. Let me go. So that's going to go back into the oven now for about 6 minutes, 8 minutes. Ideally, we want it a little bit runny because that's obviously beautiful. But if you like it a firmer set yolk, leave it in for a couple more minutes. We'll be back in 6 to 8 minutes. 6 minutes has elapsed. And look at that. Oh my days, does that not look good? Okay. So, doing a quick calculation as well, I've worked out that this pizza has cost to make £2.80, so 70 pence a portion if you're feeding 4 people, which I think's pretty damn good going for scrabbling around the cupboards. Okay, so we've just put it onto a white chopping board and I'm just going to cut it up now. This is hot, so I'm going to do it. I don't want Zane to burn his fingers. I haven't been in kitchens for, I hate to say it, this is my 25th year in trade. My fingers are a little bit hardened to his, and as you've just heard there, apparently I'm old. So there is. Here we go. Pizza a la Quarantine from Hit Chef Academy and the cupboards of the Belford household. Enjoy your weekend, stay safe, and we look forward to more videos next week. Look after yourselves. Could you hold that up to the camera, please, because you've done all of the work. That is. Stop filming. It's alright, mate, don't worry about it. We'll get 2 little plates.